Hello and welcome to SwipeOut, the new online quiz show all about pop culture from me, Sam the Quizman. In each game, one contestant will face questions in up to 5 categories, swiping through them like social media posts until they find one that they can answer, like a nerdy version of Tinder. If they give a correct answer, we move on to the next category, and after 5 categories, they win the game, but the number of times they can swipe is limited. So every new question brings with it an important decision, Casey. Answer or swipe. Every contestant starts with 10 swipes, as you should see at the bottom of your screen, and 0 points. Your points go up for correct answers and down every time you swipe or answer wrongly, and if you run out of swipes, you can buy another one with your points if you have enough. So bear that in mind. Run out of swipes and get a question wrong, and your game is over. At the end of each game, the contestant score will go onto the series leaderboard to see who will come out on top, but as this is our first ever game, the entire leaderboard will just be Casey. So congratulations, Casey, you're already top of the leaderboard for just being here. So, I will say now, let's meet our first contestant. We've already seen her. It's Casey. How are you doing, Casey?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Are you excited? Are you nervous? Do you think you're going to get anything right, anything wrong?
Excited and nervous for sure. I have no confidence in myself, so
Is that something we should maybe examine after the quiz if we go off and do a cheap therapy session? I'll give you my
possibly.
Okay, good. Well, hopefully this will boost your confidence in yourself. Let's start then. Casey, you ready to find out what your first category is?
Yes.
Your first category, Casey, is sitcoms. How do you feel about sitcoms? Do you watch many?
I watch a few.
Okay, I can see you're wearing a Friends top. For anybody who doesn't know, I do the ultimate Friends quiz as Sam the Quizman, and Casey is one of my paid subscribers to that, so obviously a big fan of Friends. Do you have any other favourite sitcoms or anything that you're like, everybody talks about this, but I've never seen it and I don't think it's my style?
Most sitcoms that people watch, I haven't, so I'm assuming those will be the questions that you'll ask.
Okay, great. Well, let's hope you have at least one idea of a question. Let's find out, shall we? Your first question. Your first question on sitcoms, Casey, is, in The In-Betweeners, what's the name of the school the main characters go to? Now, remember, you don't have to answer this, because you have an important decision to make. Do you want to answer or swipe? Of course, you have 10 swipes remaining, so we're at the beginning of the game. Casey, do you watch The In-Betweeners?
No, I've watched maybe 2 episodes, and again, I do not like it, but okay. I have family members who enjoy it so much, and they would be disappointed that I won't know this answer. Well,
I will say this isn't like a major thing. It's not like asking what the coffee shop in Friends is called. It's not that common. So I think I know what the answer to this is, Casey, but do you want to answer or do you want to swipe?
I will swipe, please.
You will swipe. Okay, so you're swiping to your second question, which is, the sitcom Cheers is set in which US city? We've already got some answers in the comments, some of which are right, some of which are wrong. But Casey, the main thing is, do you want to answer or do you want to swipe on from this question?
I think I'll swipe again on this one, please.
Swiping again, okay. Question 3. Which comedian plays Maurice Moss in The IT Crowd? Do you know The IT Crowd? Is that something you've watched?
Nope.
Okay, we're off to a great start.
Yep.
So I'm assuming if you don't know the show, you want to swipe on from this question in that case.
Yep.
Okay, let's hope we get to one that you can answer, or at least something you've heard of, as we go to question 4. Which US sitcom follows the Pritchett's and the Dunphys? My wife has just come in with the right answer to this question, so this one seems to be quite well known. But the question is, Casey, do you know this? Do you want to answer or do you want to swipe?
I'd like to answer, please.
You'd like to answer? We have our first answer chat. Okay, Casey, which US sitcom follows the Pritchett's and the Dunphys?
Modern Family.
Modern Family, let's find out. Is it Modern Family? It is Modern Family. Well done, Casey. You've got that question right and earned yourself a wonderful 200 points. And we will move on to category 2. So well done. You've got 170 points and 7 swipes left. So let's find out. Your second category in this game of SwipeOut, Casey, is social media. Obviously, we're on social media at the moment, but that doesn't necessarily mean you go on it often. Do you know much about social media, about different platforms, or about the history, anything like that?
No, I think I stretch as far as Facebook and kind of TikTok. As you're aware, I have no clue on Discord.
Okay, wonderful. Well, in that case, the next thing is just to find out what your first question in social media is. Remember, you don't have to answer this one, as you know. But your first question on social media is, in 2016, Microsoft bought which social network for $26 billion? Remember, wrong answers do not mean your game is over. They mean you lose a small number of points. We have got one right answer again from Lou in the chat. But Casey, the main thing is, do you know? Do you want to answer or swipe?
I'm going to try and answer.
Okay, wonderful. What, Casey, is your answer to, in 2016, Microsoft bought which social network for $26 billion?
It might be Zoom.
Okay, let's find out. It's LinkedIn, I'm afraid. That's a wrong answer. I'm sorry. It is LinkedIn, which does make sense if you think about it. I don't think Zoom necessarily counts as a social network, but
maybe.
But I understand why you went there. It would be a very good thing for them to buy. I bet in 2020 they wish they'd bought Zoom when it first started. Right, so that means that we're moving on to the next question. We had no more right answers in the comments before I revealed that. So interesting. That was a hard question, but let's find out if the next one is. Your second question on social media, Casey, is, in 2009, a social media campaign led to which rap metal band getting the UK Christmas #1? I appreciate we are slightly different in age, so that was a lot of your life ago. I'm gonna hazard that anybody who was on social media at the time will have a pretty good memory for this, but Casey, that may not include you. No, you don't look very confident there, so I have to do the formality. Do you want, Casey, to answer or swipe? Or just name a random rap metal band?
I'm gonna have to swipe on this one.
You're gonna swipe on this one. Okay, great. So you've got 6 swipes left. And we're going to go to question 3 on social media, which is, in 2015, the dress went viral as people disagreed on what colours it was. What 2 colours is it actually? So do you remember this, Casey? Is this something that you were aware of 9 years ago?
Yes.
Yes, you do remember. Okay, that's good. We've got some answers to this question in the chat. Yes, there was actually an answer to this question. Obviously, that wasn't the only photograph of the dress. If you actually bought it and wore it out, it would be these colours. And most people are getting this right. How are you feeling about this question? Do you want to immediately go to answer or swipe?
I think I'll answer.
You're going to answer. Okay, great. So, what are your thoughts? What are you choosing between for this?
Well, I knew what colour most people thought it was, and then I think I remember it coming out as like actually how it worked and why we saw the colours we saw. So, I think I'm sort of confident.
Okay, great. Well, in that case, put us out of our misery. What is your answer, Casey, to, in 2015, the dress went viral as people disagreed on what colours it was? What 2 colours is it actually, Casey?
I think it's actually white and gold.
You think it's actually white and gold? Okay, let's find out. It's actually black and blue, I'm afraid. They went around and they found the actual dress, and the white and gold, which is what I see, and what a BuzzFeed poll said 2/3 of people see, is actually erroneous, and it is actually blue and black, which means, Casey, I'm afraid that is another wrong answer, and you're stuck in this social media category for another question. Let's find out what it is. The Snapchat logo is a white ghost shape on a background of which primary colour? People are coming in their floods for answers to this question, which makes me think that Casey may have a pretty good chance. So Casey, back to you. How are you feeling about this?
I think I'm feeling okay about this one.
That is good to hear. You might knock category 2 off its head. At this point, with 6 swipes left and 120 points, are you going to answer or are you going to swipe?
I'll answer.
You're going to answer. Great. So, Casey, the Snapchat logo is a white ghost shape on a background of which primary colour?
Yellow.
Let's find out. Is it yellow? It is yellow. Well done. That means you have got another correct answer, earning yourself 200 more points, and we get to move on to category 3. How are you feeling now? You've got 6 swipes left. You're nearly halfway through the game, so that's a good number. You're currently at your average of 2 swipes per category, and you've got 320 points out of a maximum of 1,000 so far. That's pretty good, I think.
It's all right.
Okay, fair enough. Let's find out. Your third category is books. How do you feel about books, Casey? Are you a big reader?
No.
No? Okay, this is going really
well.
Not
at all.
Okay, wonderful. Well, hopefully you might have seen some film adaptations or have just heard on all that social mediaing you do, or in all those sitcoms you watch, they've referenced all of this.
Let's hope so.
Let's see if Casey has heard of our first question on books, which is, Casey, in the His Dark Materials series, of which there was a big TV adaptation and a film, of course, what's the name of Lyra's demon? Do you know His Dark Materials? Have you read or watched any of them?
Nope.
Okay, well, I think I know what the answer to this question is going to be, but I feel compelled to ask Casey. Answer or swipe?
Got to be a swipe.
Got to be a swipe. Okay, lovely. Well, question 2 is, the latest Game of Thrones book, A Dance with Dragons, was published in what year? Again, obviously there's the TV adaptation, but it erroneously, in my opinion, went off the books and got really quite bad after that point. I'm going to just hazard a guess and say you're going to swipe on from this question, Casey.
I am.
You are going to swipe on it. Okay. Books question 3 is, who wrote the novels The Fault in Our Stars and Looking for Alaska? Now, those are obviously novels that were also adapted into films, quite big with millennials, and hopefully for Casey's sake, Gen Z. Casey, do you have any idea? Do you know if you want to answer or swipe on this question?
I'm aware of the book.
Which book is that? Obviously there's 2 there.
The Fault in Our Stars.
Yeah.
I'm aware of it, haven't seen it or read it, so
okay.
I think you might know what my answer will be.
I think you're going to be swiping on this one.
I will be swiping again on this one.
You will be swiping again on this one. Books not really working out for you. Let's hope the next question does. Which fictional land was first introduced in The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe? I'm hoping that you do know this one, because if not, there's only one question after this in the stack, and you will have to either get them all wrong or swipe back and by chance get one of them right if you don't get any of them, because you can't move on from a category until you've either got one right or exhausted all the questions. But let's go to the chat on this one. Lots of answers coming in. I'm really hoping I'm going to come to you and you're going to say answer. So Casey, answer or swipe?
I'm going to answer.
She's going to answer. Amazing. So I'll ask you the question. Casey, which fictional land was first introduced in The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe?
I don't think it's going to be the right one.
Okay.
Because I feel like I've just got the name of it and not... I don't know how to explain it to you, but I'm going to answer with Narnia, but I think that's wrong and it's not what the type of thing you were asking me for.
Okay. So not confident about Narnia?
No, not at all. No.
Let's find out. Was Narnia introduced in The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe? It was! Well done, Casey! Yes, The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe was, as Charlie is pointing out in the chat, was the second book in the chronology in the actual series, but it was the first book published, and then he went back and wrote The Magician's Nephew years later. So, well done, Casey. You have knocked another category off. You are flying through this. I know it may not seem it, but you're about to enter category 4 with 3 swipes left and a score of 490. How are you feeling?
I'm getting there. I feel like my confidence is a little bit up there.
Okay, good. Your 4th category is pop music. How do you feel about pop music? Are you a fan?
I mean, yeah, sort of. I mean, I can kind of listen to anyone, but it's not like, oh, they're my favourite, or I'm just kind of, if it's on, it's on. I'm not going to purposely choose something to listen to.
Let's find out what the first question is on pop music. Hopefully it's something you know about. In what year did Rihanna last release an album? I'm going to let you think about that while I go to chat. Dottie has said an incorrect answer. Charlie has said an incorrect answer. Claire Smart comes in with the right answer. Well done, Claire, if that was a guess. If not, very good knowledge. Lou has no idea. Angela has no idea. So, if you don't know, you're in good company. But if you do, it's very impressive. Casey, for this question on Rihanna, do you want to, with 3 swipes and a score of 490, answer or swipe?
I'm going to answer.
Going to answer. Amazing. Okay, so I'll ask you again. Casey, in what year did Rihanna last release an album?
2017.
2017.
And that's just a wild guess.
Wild guess, but you're saving swipes, I see. Interesting. Have you stumbled upon the right answer with 2017? 7 years ago. Let's find out. It's 2016. It was 8 years ago that she last released an album, incredibly, even though she did the Super Bowl, I think, last year, with an amazing medley of 10-year-old songs, seemingly. But you were 1 out. That's really, really good guess, Casey. So I can imagine you kind of know roughly how old you were when it happened. Is that how you went by it?
Yeah, I think that's what I tried to do, and then I think I scrambled it all up a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, 2016, 2017, when you get to my old age, it all just blurs into one. But obviously those are very close. It might have even been the same school year you were in, but I'm afraid that means that it is not the right answer. It was a blooming good guess. But moving on, let's go to your second question on pop music, which is, S Club Juniors had how many members? Now again, this might be a bit too old for Casey, being on the younger end of my followers, I'd say. Spencer is in with the right answer, as is Laura, as is Kerry, as is Lou, so there are a lot of people who were massive fans of S Club Juniors, like I was, honestly. But as I keep saying, the only person whose answer really matters, Casey, is you. So, on S Club Juniors, before I ask you, do you know S Club Juniors? Or are you just learning about them for the first time now?
No, I'm definitely only learning about that now. Or maybe I've probably heard of them like briefly, but not like, looked into it or anything like that.
That's fair. Well, some people will say they weren't as good as S Club 7. I'm one of those people. But the question, Casey, is S Club Juniors had how many members, not how many bangers. But Charlie, I agree, One Step Closer is a massive banger. Casey, I think I know your answer to this, but Casey, answer or swipe?
I'm going to answer, please.
Going to answer, amazing. Well, you just need to give a number, so kind of like the Rihanna question, you can just give a stab in the dark if you don't have an idea. So Casey, S Club Juniors had how many members? What's your answer?
6.
6. We're going for 6. We're going for 1 off S Club 7. Let's find out, was it 6? It was 8. They had 1 more than S Club 7, I'm afraid. So that is another wrong answer. I'm really sorry. You have 450 live score. You still have a lot of points to spend if you need more swipes. We are going to pop music question 3. Casey, I hope this is something you have more of a shot at. What single word is the title of hit songs by Adele and Lionel Richie? So you've got 2 ins here. Do you have any idea?
My brain has gone blank on this question.
Okay, wonderful. The absolute perks of being on the spot are coming straight to you, that your brain just goes, nope, sorry, you're going to be in front of the camera, but I'm not going to be in here. In that
Exactly
case, again, it's another tactical decision. You've got 3 swipes left and 450 points, which is a very good number, I say, for the first game we've ever played. But, Casey, do you want to answer or do you want to swipe?
I'm going to swipe on this one.
You are swiping, you've got 2 swipes left and 440 points. And we're going to go to pop music question 4, which is, before his solo career, Robbie Williams was a member of which boy band? Hopefully this is one that's lighting up Casey's brain and getting it back into existence. But I will go to the chat. Lots of correct answers so far to this question. Again, lots of people who, it's okay, Casey, are older than you. But Casey, now comes the all-important question. For this question on Robbie Williams, is it answer or swipe?
I'm going to try and answer.
Try to answer. We love to hear that, Casey. Okay. I will ask you the question again. Before his solo career, Robbie Williams was a member of which boy band, Casey?
I'm going to go and have a wild guess and say Take That.
Take That is Casey's answer. Okay. Let's find out, was Robbie Williams a member of Take That? He was! Well done, Casey. You have completed category 4 as well, which means I'm giving you an extra 200 points onto your score, and you get to move on to the final category, which is incredible work. How are you feeling? You finished 4 categories.
Pretty good. I didn't think I'd get this far.
Honestly, I don't mean to be rude. I can't see that on your face. You still just seem to be nervous, but I'm glad you're proud of where you've got to. We've got some lovely words of encouragement in the chat. Claire Smart says, keep doing, Casey. Dottie says, well done. Kerry says, yay, Casey, nearly there. Lou says, well done, Casey. Alison says, go, Casey. And Angela says, amazing. And Dottie says, you seem so calm. I'd imagine if Dottie was on this, she would not be as calm as you. And Twisted coming in with all the emoji. Obviously, it took Twisted a little bit longer to comment because she was typing so many letters. But I will try to do Twisted proud when I go, yay, Casey, is kind of how Twisted's comment comes along. And Amanda's saying, you got this. So, you ready to find out what your 5th category is after all that encouragement?
Yes.
Amazing. So, your 5th category is the Olympics. Casey, how are you feeling about the Olympics? Did you watch the Paris Olympics earlier this year?
I mean, I wouldn't say watched. I would, if they were on someone's TV when I popped round, it's on. Okay. I never purposely put it on, but no, I don't.
Something you were following keenly, not where you go, oh, what time is this sport on? I'd better write that down in my little notebook.
No.
Okay.
No. So do not feel confident about this category.
Okay, wonderful. Well, to be fair, you haven't felt confident about any of the other categories, and you've gotten through them. You have got 2 swipes left, which I will remind you, you've got 10 swipes to begin with for 5 categories. You haven't bought a swipe yet, but you are still on your average of 2 swipes per category. So, as the chat says, you got this. Come on, Casey, you got this. Let's find out what your first question is on the Olympics. Casey, On the full list of Olympic sports, what is the only sport that begins with the letter E? This is a bit of a thinker, so I'm definitely going to go to the chat for a bit while you think about if you know this answer. Because let's face it, if you're not a big Olympics fan, you're just trying to figure out what sport could start with the letter E. So I'm going to carry on with the chat. Lots of people saying good luck. We've got some correct answers coming in, though. Most of them have question marks after them, which will make you feel very confident, Casey. But we have got quite a few coming in now. But the important thing is, Casey, I guess what I'm asking is, have you been able to think of a sport that begins with E? But what I'm actually asking is, answer or swipe?
I'm going to try and answer, please.
Okay, we love it when you do this. It builds the tension so beautifully. In that case, your answer 4, have you just randomly come up with a sport that starts with the letter E? Or as I'm going to put it, on the full list of Olympic sports, what is the only sport that begins with the letter E, Casey?
I'm going to guess my answer, but I think it's the name that I'm going to say might not be the actual name of the sport and just the overall. So I'm going to guess equestrian.
Okay, interesting.
But I think it might be more classed as like dressage, horse riding, etc.
Okay, well.
The only thing I could think of with an E.
Anything you can think of with an E. So equestrian you think could be dressage. So let's find out. Everyone in the comments is rooting for you. Casey, is it equestrian? It is! Well done! You have won SwipeOut, and everybody's very proud of you, and we can go to the lovely... You're a winner, Casey, and I'll update you got through Category 5, first time of asking, so you finish, assuming I've done this right, with an amazing score of 840 out of a possible 1,000. Amazing! You've got so many congratulations coming in the comments. Congratulations, you are the first person to play, you're the first person to win. You have set a very high bar for the leaderboard. Congratulations, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty happy with my score, and I didn't think I'd actually complete it and I'd run out of swipes and run out of points to buy them with, so I think I've made myself quite happy there.
Well, you should do. Everyone in the comments is really happy for you. We've got more party and clapping emojis coming in, but it was what saved you as equestrian. So maybe when 2028 comes around in LA, you'll actually tune into the equestrian, watch for 5 minutes and go, yeah, no, there's a reason I don't watch this in the first place, and turn back over to Friends.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, I can only hope so. Thank you so much, Casey, for playing. If you want to be a contestant on SwipeOut, anyone in the chat, all you need to do is become a subscriber to my TikTok account, then either DM me or let me know on the Sam the Quizman Discord. You can join from my profile that you want to play, and I will schedule you in for a game. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thanks for having me.